Hi, everyone. We are live in Hollywood at NBC's Comedy Starts Here party. I'm Patrick Gomez, senior editor at Entertainment Weekly.
And I'm Melody Chiu, West Coast deputy news editor at People Magazine. And tonight we're going to be talking to all of the stars from some of your favorite NBC comedies. Patrick, I've been watching the trailers all day and laughing at my desk. They're so good. What are you most looking forward to?
I mean, there's some fantastic shows debuting just next week on NBC, but one of my favorites actually is a mid-season show called Indebted. It's about these new parents that are getting used to life with a newborn at home when suddenly the in-laws move in. And these aren't just any in-laws. They are used to a lavish lifestyle, and all of a sudden they are living on a budget. Everyone has to move in together, and chaos ensues.
Yep, and we actually have Steven Weber, who plays one of the lavish in-laws right here.
Hi.
We were just talking about you.
Hi, I'm the first one on the red carpet.
Well, we're glad to have you.
I'm the funniest one so far.
That's how
That
they
is
rank
very
you.
true.
Yep.
That's actually why you're first. They figured funniest to least funniest.
That's
Who's going to be the last one here, though?
I'm not allowed to say.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. You'll keep us
guessing.
guessing.
I don't want to embarrass them.
So we gave a little bit of a tease of what Indebted is, but in your own words, what is this new series that we're all going to get to see?
Indebted is basically about a couple who lose most of their money through bad spending habits and have to live with their kids and grandkids. And the kids have to parent their parents.
There's lots of parenting going around.
Lots of parenting, and all hilariously funny, of course.
And it also stars Fran Drescher, you get to spend a lot of time with on the show.
Yes, Fran and I play husband and wife, which is fantastic. And then our children are played by Adam Pally and Abby Elliott and Jesse Hodges.
What is
I mean,
it?
Jesse Hodges is, that's right. Adam Pally and Jesse Hodges are our children, and Adam is married to Abby Elliott.
Yes.
Getting all those names.
That's
Yes,
Crazy
you did
family.
it. You did it.
Good stuff. I'm so drunk.
I can't wait to do that later inside of this fantastic party.
Yes.
What is it like to play Fran's husband?
Basically, I just hang on, and I let her do the heavy lifting. She's fantastic at what she does, both on and off screen, and I just kind of, I make sure she's protected,
Okay.
and I groom her whenever I can, and I want to keep her happy.
So like all good marriages.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
This is a great marriage. It's sort of the kind of marriage and the kind of people I aspire to.
Okay.
Now, obviously, with The Nanny, everyone knows Fran from The Nanny. You did Wings. Both of you are veterans of long-running sitcoms. Is the game any different in terms of what you guys are doing in your work here on this show, Indebted, rather than those shows?
I think in most regards, funny is funny, and it's to the writing. The writing is always the thing that distinguishes a show in terms of how funny it is, how valuable, how valued it is. There are some tastes that are different. The viewership is clearly different than it was in the 90s, when those shows were on. But it's a funny show, and it works, and that's always been the way things work, I guess.
And for you and Fran, actually for the whole family, in terms of getting that chemistry right, did you guys do any exercises or stuff outside of just reading the scripts and doing script readings?
We always form a human pyramid before each episode.
We do
Some
that
trust
at work
fall.
too.
Yeah, that's a lot of trust falling, and basically we just all got along immediately, and we did some press at the beginning of the year in New York City, and we saw that we all had the same revolting habits, and we all fell madly in love with each other. So hopefully America will as well.
Yeah. And there's so many great podcasts, books, movies, TV shows out right now. What would you recommend if you could only pick one must?
Oh gosh. Well, I'm a big audio book guy, and not touting myself, but to tout myself, I have an audio book that's been out for a little while. It's I narrate Stephen King's It, all 1,200 pages,
Wow.
and it's a long, big read, and it's a good way to accompany the occasion of the second part of the movie It. I'm talking about myself. It's really,
But I've
it's
always
really
been,
not a proper answer to your question.
I've always been curious though, how long is that process? Because I know how long it takes me to read a book just like when I'm reading it, and that's not stumbling over a word.
Well, if I paid you, you'd read all day. So that's basically what I did. For that particular book, it was 7-hour days for 2 weeks. But it was worth it. It was fun. And so, but in terms of podcasts, I mean, there's a great one by my friend Avital Ash. There's a great one, I think, Who am I speaking about? Oh, never mind. There's lots
Just
of
stick
them.
to stick to promoting yourself. I mean, your book reading is fantastic.
As I said, I'm really drunk.
Well, thank you so much. Congratulations. We
Thanks
can't
very
wait
much.
to see the show.
It's great. Thank you for being there.
Yes, thank you. Enjoy the
Have
party.
a good night.
Enjoy the party. Oh, it's so great. It's so great.
Oh, and the stars just keep coming.
Oh my goodness. Hello. Hi.
going?
I am Patrick.
Hi, I'm Samba.
Very nice to meet
Melody.
you, Samba.
Come on
so-
up a little bit.
Sure.
We want to
So-
get you into the...
Of course.
So we have one of the stars of Sunnyside here. Sunnyside, I'm already obsessed just based on the extended trailer, which if you haven't checked out, you definitely should before the show premieres on September 26th. Just getting in a quick plug there. But in your own words, how would you describe this show?
So it's a very positive, funny show about an ex-New York City councilman who helps a bunch of immigrants become American citizens. So it's got comedy, it's topically relevant, but at the same time, it's relatable to everybody, I think.
Tell us about working with Cal, because he is hilarious, right? And he's also so passionate and really, I can tell, cares about the show.
Oh, he does. He's fantastic. I mean, he's so intelligent. Don't forget, he worked for the administration, the Obama administration, so he's got his political knowledge down, he's got his comedy knowledge down, and he's so giving. You know, the fact that he's allowing us to do our thing together with him, you know, we laugh every single day, so I'm super grateful. Yeah.
Well, I want to get back to the show in a second, but I'm really digging this shirt right
I
here.
think we have
you.
some of your
Tell us-
co-stars sneaking up, actually.
Oh my goodness.
There they are. There they are.
Oh my
How
goodness.
Can you not laugh with these
Come
people?
on
I mean, I
guys.
love it. I love all the fashion.
Yeah.
Come right in. Come right in.
Guys, hi.
So we were just getting the rundown on Sunnyside. Congratulations on all of
Don't
that.
listen to a word Samba says.
I mean,
She's
she
a liar
doesn't speak
and a
on the
cheat.
show. So.
Not to be trusted. Look at this face.
I mean, I was saying though, I trust the shirt. I trust the shirt.
That's
the
what I was saying. I
giraffe.
was trying to represent Africa. You know, I play an Ethiopian on the show, and so, you know, giraffe, I'm tall, and be Africa.
Literally
So.
the nicest guy on the show. The rest of us are just assholes.
Absolutely not. No.
Well, do tell us a little bit about the characters that each of you play.
Well, so I play Jin Ho, who is Mei Lin's brother over here. We're sort of catastrophically rich idiots on the show.
I want to be catastrophically rich.
Airheads, complete airheads.
And we have no idea where they come from, which is fascinating. Like, it's scary.
International waters is what I heard.
International waters
Grew
is as
up on
far as
the
we
Oh
Oh,
my
that's
goodness, the
another
family just continues to grow. More Sunnyside. Hello, I'm Patrick.
Nice to meet you, Patrick.
Hi, we're going over characters. We'll come back to start at the beginning of the line in just a second, but we were here.
dare you.
I know, how dare.
No, I'm joking.
No. I'm loving all the fashion from this cast.
I know, it's amazing. Look at these pink tones.
So,
Look at it, she did
international
it.
waters come into play
International
with some
waters.
stuff
Yeah.
In many
like
ways,
that.
the villains of the show.
But
if
super
you will.
well
we
dressed.
love them.
It's
They're
a
hilarious.
redemption
Very
story for
close.
us, I think. We're
Yeah.
learning how to be human beings throughout every episode. That's sort of
You know
our
what?
arc.
I think have hearts of gold beneath all of their excruciating
Absolutely.
amounts of wealth.
That's
and
the-
trying their best, but just have no idea how to interact with like the commoners. But trying, really trying.
Well, that's the beauty of this show. It shows the humanity in everyone who tries to come to this country and make their dream come true. And you know, I think it's represented in just look at these people, look at these faces.
Can you tell us the first time you read the script and you saw how diverse the cast and the show would be?
Yes, absolutely. I loved how immediately I was like, yes, we need shows like this. We need faces to represent the beauty and the superpower of America, which is, I think, diversity.
When I read the script, I was like, oh God, what I really want to see is more face masks on television. More face masks, more fans on television. And I knew that
I'm
this
not
script
even
was
who I say I
particularly
am.
an opportunity for that to happen.
I still haven't read a full script. I go through and sort of look at my lines, highlight those, and then just sort
Learning
of put it
how to
all
read
together,
still,
context
so.
clues.
Reading is an idea,
Yeah.
Joel. It's just a concept. We live in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
So-
One of the things that's fantastic about comedy is that it allows you to kind of talk about these really intense subjects that you could also turn on the news and see something about that kind of makes you, you know, depressed or you can get down about the way where we are in the world right now. But this is going to make us laugh while also think, at least from what I've seen of the show.
Absolutely.
Was that something that was appealing to you guys?
Yeah, I think there was a tremendous amount of. It's not just a diverse cast, but it's a cast full of humans who are, you know, completely robust, and there's a lot going on with every individual, I would say.
I mean, to be honest, I was really I was nervous going into the show, especially like from the pilot on, because I didn't want to sort of be like the diverse face of a writer's room full of white guys who had no idea sort of what they were writing about. And I think Matt Murray and Michael Schur and Cal put together a really, really, not only is the diversity in front of the camera, but our entire writers' rooms is first-generation immigrants or the child of immigrants, and they really understand the experience better than I do as someone who was adopted and brought into this country and grew up here. So if I feel really passionately and sort of safe, sort of performing the comedy and knowing that it's true and it's grounded in someone's real life experience.
I also feel like our communities deserve to laugh too, I think for a lot of like migrant communities and immigration, it's such like a heavy topic in so many places. And so when you think about our families and communities, like it's tiring only seeing our own stories on TV as like trauma porn. You know what I mean? Like only the hardest stuff, whatever. Like we also have joy in our lives. We also have we're imperfect people. We're also selfish and we're joyful and we have family and we mess up too. And we don't ever get to see that because of the lack of representation. So to show these people, but to show them living and hanging out and being imperfect is amazing. And not just oh gosh, it's so hard. Yes, it is. And also there's a side of life that needs to be shown as well.
Well, speaking of being imperfect, are you guys constantly cutting? I mean, is it a very serious set, or is it a very funny set, or there's lots of improv or jokes?
Look at this.
I mean, I'm imagining
You get an
the
idea.
answer. I'm asking a leading question here.
Can I use the fan? I just want to use the fan.
It's such a funny set. I mean, the majority of the cast are stand-up comedians, and so we're laughing every day. And even if they yell cut, we're still improvising. We're still jumping on one another, trying to get the last laugh in. So every day is just a blast of just laughter. Yeah.
How much improvisation makes it into the script once you guys are on set?
Well, we don't actually know yet.
I mean, the pilot has some improv.
Yeah, the pilot has there's a few lines that we sort of threw in there that they used in the rest of the cuts, but that's sort of the fun of it. We don't know, we're throwing in a lot of stuff every day, and we're really excited to see the season, just to see, what makes it end.
And, tackling a topic that is so politically charged, how do you all, both in acting but also having conversations with the writers, balance the line of what is considered appropriate? And obviously we are in a period of time where everyone's hypersensitive to how things are taken and can be interpreted by particularly minority groups. So how does that weigh on you guys at any time, or do you guys feel like you know where the line is?
I feel we trust our writers. I mean, like Joel said, the majority of them are immigrants or children of immigrants. I'm an immigrant myself. I moved here 8 years ago. And so authenticity is really what's, I think, the key and the heart of this show. At the end of the day, it's on a Thursday night, so it's a comedy, where the iconic comedies started, Seinfeld, Friends, Cheers. So you're going to laugh, but at the same time, there's going to be a little bit of a message.
No, and I'm less concerned about minority groups being overly sensitive about the material here. I mean, let's be honest, they're not the people that are going to be mad. The left is not the people that are going to be mad or upset with the show or find its politics to be reprehensible. So that's not really my concern while I'm doing this show. And at the end of the day, too, I mean, we're not thinking about the politics of the show day to day. We're sort of thinking about how many times can I reference my ass in an alt and have it make it past standards,
Yeah, and how much leg can I show for network television?
Oh, there's
The cast continues to grow. It continues to go.
Speaking of minorities.
Same take.
They were just talking about how terrible you are on set.
Yeah, exactly.
The bird scooter is the everyman's golf cart. So.
Yeah, well, on set, I made a really strong choice. I want to enter on a bird scooter. This way I can get free credits because my card keeps getting declined.
I mean, that's fair, but just wait for the check. The check won't bounce. I promise this check won't bounce.
You're giving us a check?
No, NBC is giving you the check.
Oh.
You're also giving us a check. It sounded like.
I mean, my check to you will definitely bounce.
He's doing the show as exposure. He's not actually getting paid.
I'm being paid in exposure, like most Hollywood projects. Does that ever happen to you guys as hosts, where people will be like, "Hey, I got a thing, you got to host"?
I mean, they're not paying us extra to be here today.
I honestly
Entertainment
don't know
Weekly and
how I'm
people, they
here.
just. I mean, our office hours ended at
Who's
5.
this guy?
But speaking about giving you guys exposure, I know you've got a fantastic carpet of press here. No, totally. So thank you.
Go enjoy your pornography.
Please
What
leave.
you're doing later.
Exactly.
And, yes.
Love that exposure. Definitely watch
Congratulations,
Sunnyside
though,
on September
truly.
26th,
I can't wait
guys.
to see the show.
I really hope people love it.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
Yeah.
It's a show that's about the joy in America. It's patriotic at the end of the day, and it's about showing the beauty in this country. So
If you love America, you will tune in.
if you love America, you'll watch Sunnyside.
Even if you don't love America, still tune in.
I think please do.
But do. Send some love.
All
Thank you
right.
guys so
Have
much.
fun
It's such a
tonight.
pleasure. Thank you guys.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Oh my God, this is fantastic. Thank you guys. I'm still I'm going to be thinking about all these clothes the whole time. It's so fantastic. So I really think you need to watch the extended trailer if you haven't already. It's
I don't know
funny.
what trailer I watched. If it wasn't the extended one, it was still great because I was laughing for 2 minutes straight. The jokes, I mean, I'm not an immigrant, my parents were, but even I related to the jokes they were making. They are kind of a-holes, like they were saying. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, and obviously Mike Schur is one of the people that is an executive producer on the show. He's behind The Office, The Good Place, which we're also celebrating tonight. We're continuing to see these stars come in. We've got Michael. Can we grab you in here? Hi, we've got recent Emmy nominee.
Yes.
Yeah, right here.
Yes.
Can you? So you were at the Creative Arts Emmys, yes?
I was.
Yeah. What was that experience? Much warmer than tonight.
It was. This is a nice breeze right now.
Yeah.
This is a very nice breeze. Although the day yesterday wasn't that hot. It's just the lights and everything, everybody being so crowded together makes it a lot hotter.
Yeah. For those.
Somebody passed out actually.
Oh
my God.
Well, I feel like that's tradition by now.
Yeah, actually, I remember a couple Emmys, actual on primetime Emmy night. 2 people passed out before the carpet even opened.
Right.
So
it's not an award show
just
unless
one.
somebody passes out.
Exactly. The Golden Globes you're passing out for completely different reasons.
Right.
But you're kind of here for you're pulling double duty in terms of your reasons that you could possibly be here. We obviously seen you both on Will and Grace and This Is Us.
Yeah.
So I mean, basically, you could school anyone else here. I don't think anyone else has that double tenure.
Yeah, you know, they've been very kind to me, NBC. I don't know, I was on Will and Grace when I was 13 and was on last year, 2 years ago. Yeah, no, I love that show. I love it so much. They've really taught me a lot, you know?
And so, obviously, being on the show as a child and then coming to the show as an adult, they could have recast you. Nobody really would have remembered. So, how special was it when we got the call that they were like, "Hey, we want to remain authentic and have you come back"?
Yeah, it meant a lot. And what was really weird was that nobody was different at all. Everybody looked the exact same. And I was the real signpost of change.
Although you would want that. Out of anyone in the cast coming back, you would want to look different than you did when you were like 13.
True, but still weird that they didn't look different at all.
Very true, very true. And then with This Is Us, your arc on that show was so fantastic to watch. Obviously, was rewarded with an Emmy nomination, so I wasn't the only one that thought that. What was it like to kind of get into that character who was in a very negative headspace at times?
Yeah, I mean, it was heavy, man. They did a really amazing job. The writing was really rich and nuanced, and you know, Tim O'Brien is a writer who Dan Fogelman has always admired, and he wrote this book, The Things They Carried, which is one of the seminal books about Vietnam and that war. And so they brought him on to the writer's room, and he acted as a consultant and co-wrote the episode entitled Vietnam. And so it just felt that, especially for a network show, felt like they, really did it justice and were as authentic as they could have possibly been. So I was just honored to be a part of it. I felt like a really small part of a much greater thing. I mean, I think they spent more money on season 3 than they did in any other season, which also says a lot. You know, it was a huge part. It was really important to Dan and everybody else that they got it right.
It's such a tight-knit group that you're coming into, too. They've been through 2 seasons, and now you've joined the show. Everyone, it seems, on that show has gotten an Emmy nomination. What was it like to step into this group?
I don't know. I felt very taken care of because everybody. I only really worked with Milo, but I felt very, very taken care of. Not only by the writing, but by the crew and by Milo himself. I mean, he really is like the patriarch of this set, and he treats everybody like he's Jack Pearson. I mean, he's sort of, he knows everybody's name. He buys everybody lunch. It's really warm, and everybody really cares. There's a lot of effort and care, and I think that's why, when you hear about that show and anybody who's worked on that show, everybody talks so highly of it, like it's such a special experience, because it really is. It's rare that you get to work on something that so many people watch and discuss and talk about. That's also really rewarding as an actor and challenging and demanding. So I think that's why it's so great.
So obviously they write a certain amount of episodes, you're in them, but it is a show that you could constantly come back if they just mess with time periods enough.
True.
What are those conversations like in terms of, hey, this might be your last episode, this might not?
Pretty much that. That's pretty much it. So what do you think? More to come? We'll see. Potentially. It's always me prodding and them batting me off a little bit. But
As long as it's not a definite no, and the Emmy nomination can't hurt in terms of them thinking you've got good clout.
yeah, no, I think, like you said, one of the great things about the show is that there's kind of unlimited potential to what they could do, and so I'm excited.
Well, we
because-
can't wait for what's to come too. And congratulations on everything.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks so much. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Such a big fan of This Is Us.
Yeah.
If you did not watch his performance,
It was a very heart-tugging season for sure.
oh my
we
God!
have more.
Hi. How's it going? We are live, so just mind your P's and Q's a little bit. This one I'm watching. I'm watching this one right here. Some of the stars of Brooklyn Nine-Nine right here. You guys are filming, like you're in the depths of it right now. So thank you guys for being here.
Oh, my pleasure.
We're hot off the press. I mean, I just was having some stunt work with an animal today. So a little spoiler alert. I'm not going to tell you what kind of animal, but there's some animals this season.
Well, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, I mean, your animals, you're known for being celebrated for a particular little dog that I have a little bit of an affinity for. But I'm glad to hear that we're having maybe more animals.
More animals.
Yeah. What can you tease of what we're going to see from this upcoming season?
Oh, gosh.
From this season?
From this season. Very hard. We can't really.
We're going back to the Jimmy Jab games.
Yes, that's right. We do have that. We're hoping to have a heist. That's not for sure, but I think we're looking.
Right.
We
Jake
last
and Amy
left-
are trying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're trying, and also Holt was
Demoted.
Yeah,
So
he's on
Holt
the
is
beat.
walking the street.
Yeah, and Boyle is
It's dangerous.
It is. Street work, you know what I'm saying. Yes.
I mean, gotta watch who else is out there.
You do. You do. Without a doubt.
Your show is so beloved, and it's become such a must-watch show for so many people. If you had to, go home, turn on your podcast, your music, your shows, what is the one thing you would recommend someone?
What's on your must list for each of you?
Oh,
music?
Anything.
Anything.
Show, podcast, books.
Oh, well,
culture.
It's really, I'm so late to the game that I am finally watching Fargo, which is about 5 years old. So I can't really say like, hey, it's hot, but man, it's good. Have you guys heard about this show, Fargo? It's amazing. If you haven't
That's
seen
the age we live in now, that
It's
we
the
can
age we
find
live
shows
in,
at any
yes.
point and watch all of it, which is fantastic.
Yeah, I love it. So that's what I'm binging on now.
Okay.
How about for you?
I don't celebrate pop culture as much as Joe does, so I don't have any recommendations. I apologize. No, I'm not. I'm not ingesting. So unfortunately, I don't have anything to recommend. But I am an admirer of the art form, if not a participant.
We were today, Andre and I, singing a little bit of Badfinger, a song called Day After Day. There's a little pop culture for you from the 70s.
I was there.
I was too. Okay.
Andre, you joined Twitter earlier this year, and your fans really love your tweets about the show. What was that like? What has been the response?
What made you join now?
Well, there was a lot of pressure to join, but I've been on Twitter for a long time, but I only lurk. So I've been lurking for, I don't know, since 2010 or something. But finally, the overwhelming pressure to join the modern world came over me, washed over me.
You had some pop culture.
I had a little bit of pop culture, and so I'm a big Twitter fan. And there's a lot you can learn there. A lot, it's news, information, heated discussions. So there's a silly side to Twitter, but there's also a serious side that I find very, very informative.
Well, as public figures, how do you balance like not getting into the fray of some of that stuff that you're like, oh, I got something to say, but I probably shouldn't.
Well, I've just made myself ultra private. Like, I can't read my text. So
That's what I was gonna say. I said for the longest time, Andre's lurk handle was unknown to the cast. Like we knew it was on, but we couldn't figure it out. Being very secretive.
You had like a Finsta before Finsta was a thing.
What's Finsta?
Yes.
Like a fake Insta.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
A lurk. Yes, a fake Insta. Yes. So
a fitter.
So a fitter, and I have a Finsta, and
You're looking fitter.
He is looking fitter.
this is going entirely over my head. So yes, I'm on social anonymously, and I'm on social publicly, and so the public is much more about the career and such, and the shows that we're doing and pumping each other's work. But privately, I just indulge in the things that give me pleasure.
So if you ever get a random like that you don't know the person, it could
be
Andre Rauer. obviously, you guys are this comedy. It's going into season 7. You guys are a family on set. How much of this show is improv, and how much are you guys sticking to the script?
Well, we stick to the script pretty tightly now. I think the first season, certainly we were improvising more and ad-libbing more, and now we realize that everyone wants to go home, including the crew, and we have strong writers, and so we don't improv or ad-lib that much anymore. I'll tag a Button every now and then. I have a
Buttons McGee.
Button McGee, and so that he shows up every now and then. But for the most part, we stick to the script.
Well, we can't wait to see what's to come this season.
Yes,
and
congratulations,
what animal,
season
we'll
7.
Keep an eye out for
Yeah,
it.
we'll keep an eye out for animals. But thank you so much. It's such a pleasure.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. Enjoy yourselves. Enjoy the party. It's fantastic in there. We're sad that we won't get to bring you guys in there at the very end because inside they've got fantastic pieces
Ooh, I
from
think
every
we have
set.
more
Oh my
stars
goodness!
coming our way.
Hello. Oh my
Hi,
goodness!
how are
We've
you?
got some more of the cast of Indebted. Congratulations, you guys. We were talking to your TV dad just a little bit ago. But congratulations on the show. We asked him, but we're gonna ask you guys. Explain the show to us in your own words for the viewers at home.
I think it's like a young married couple whose parents go broke and end up
His
moving.
parents.
My parents go
They don't
broke.
have the same parents.
They don't have the same
Their
parents.
parents.
We're brother and sister.
Yeah.
A family whose parents go broke and move into their house.
Getting Steven to like correctly figure out the family tree, he was like, wait, okay, nope, got it.
It's very, like, the pronouns are hard because you're like the parents, but then they're also parents.
Yeah,
It
there's
gets
a
a
lot
little
of-
confusing. Yeah. But basically, the kids become the parents and the parents become the kids.
And there's actual kids.
And
Yes.
there's
And
actual kids
who become the grandparents.
Yeah, so we can't tell you what this show's about.
And then there's dogs that become cats.
I mean, it's 2019. Anything is possible.
It's a very relatable premise. When you were reading the script, was there something you read you were like, God, that's me, and my family?
Yeah, I think anytime if you have a close family and you spend a lot of time with them, the idea of spending more time than like a day can be stressful. So yeah, I think everybody can relate to having your parents around, you know?
Yeah, and in-laws can be a touchy subject for a lot of people.
Tricky
Not
wicket.
for me, luckily.
Oh,
but
good for you.
Thank you.
For me, very much so.
But,
Now, did you guys grow up as fans of Wings and The Nanny? I mean, working with Steven and Fran, what's that been like?
It's been a thrill.
It's a
I
dream.
mean, yeah, Fran
Big
is
fan. Big
amazing.
fan. Yeah. I don't think they even realize what big fans we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
I
don't.
actually knew Steven. I babysat his kids when I first moved to LA. I was his kids' nanny, and then Fran is the nanny. So
Yeah, lots of nannying.
Yes, a lot of nannying in this.
Have his kids been to set at all? I mean, what's that situation been?
It was a while ago, so now they're in college and they're like super cool and they're like musicians in Venice, and I'm like, I think they're too cool to come to set.
Yeah, they're cool. They're not interested.
Yeah.
Now, when you're playing family, obviously you bring your own unique backgrounds, and you're not family in real life, at least yet. I'm sure after season 10, you guys will consider each other family, right? But what's key to kind of playing siblings, to playing kids of those characters?
I think it's just getting a little bit of time outside of work with each other and kind of sharing a meal or a drink and kind of feeling each other out outside of acting or an interview. This is bonding
how
right
we get to
now.
know each
We'll talk about both of you after we leave. Yeah, I think it's just any time you can be out of work with each other is really important, even if it's not super interesting. It's just you're there with each other and you're learning stuff.
Do you bicker like husband and wife and sister and brother yet?
Not yet.
Not yet. We're still in the honeymoon stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We haven't been bickering.
No.
I don't
Not
foresee
yet.
us bickering though.
Yeah.
You, Jesse.
She's like, I know what's up.
Yeah.
I like fights, so I'm kind of I'm
It's-
excited for
I
fights.
said, yeah, you're a troublemaker.
Yeah. It'll be nice, and then we'll have that like cathartic reuniting. I'm sorry. Too.
And then it'll start all over again.
Yeah. I just want us in that vicious cycle.
Then you'll really be family.
Yeah.
We're asking everyone tonight. Obviously, Entertainment Weekly is known for the must list. So we're asking everyone what would be on their must list. So anything pop culture, a TV show, a book, a song, an album, a podcast. It could be new. It could be just something that you're just currently enjoying. But we'll go down the line. Anyone who wants to chime in.
I like
Yeah.
What about Euphoria is your jam?
I think it's good. I think it's well made and interesting, and I think Zendaya is really good. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's good. And I like Succession. I like that chunk of time on a different network.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I like the Highwomen's album. I'm very into that.
Which is actually on EW's must list in the current issue.
Oh, it is? Okay, so I should come up with something else?
No, that's fantastic. It just means you're right in with the zeitgeist of the best magazine out there.
Yeah.
And how about for you?
I mean, I think this is obvious and everyone knows, but I gotta say Pen 15. My friends made the show, and it's just, I think, kind of revolutionary, and I love it, and yeah.
Well,
It's incredible. It's on
we can't
Hulu.
wait to see your show.
Yes, we can't wait to see Indebted. Definitely check it out when it comes out mid-season.
that'd be
Congratulations, you guys. Have a fantastic rest of your time here. Yes, yes. And oh my goodness, we have Nico
We've been talking about you
Santos
all day
from
long.
Superstore. How are you, my love?
I'm well. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Hi. Oh my goodness, we got the whole Superstore family in here. Fantastic.
Come on in. We'll get nice and cozy.
Let's squeeze in here.
Okay, so
There we go.
I've been telling him on the way over, I rewatched the season finale, and I cried, I teared up. It was very emotional. For those of you guys
like I was
watching
sitting
who
at my
don't
desk
know,
and I started
yeah, I actually did. Mateo, you kind of don't know his future going forward.
We don't know. I mean, like, and that's what the whole fifth season is. Well, not the whole fifth season.
The whole thing.
You're
It's
like,
the Mateo
I
show
have
now.
taken over the
Just about
show.
No, but we are going to be dealing, season 4 ended on such a cliffhanger, and so we are going to be dealing with how do we keep Mateo within the world of Cloud9 and within the country. But there's other amazing stuff happening. Kaliko, Sandra is
our newest cast member.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll see if she actually makes it down the aisle. Fingers crossed.
Fingers and toes definitely will have, but it makes good TV.
Yeah. I mean, because Carol's still in the picture, so there's a likelihood.
We love a Superstore wedding. Come on.
We sure do. We sure do.
Love a Superstore.
Yeah, we'll take you being here a good sign that
I'm here. I'm back, fans. Do not worry.
Personally, can I just say I hope he stays with the show. He's a really nice guy.
Yeah.
That'd be great. That'd really be nice for
Pay
me.
you later.
Yeah.
which is key with the show that's been on for so many seasons. You want people that you enjoy going to work with. In between takes, is it very much a set of like, let's stick to the script, let's do our job and get home, or is everyone kind of sticking around watching each other?
You got to come to set.
You have to come to set. We really had the most fun. I think, and the crew was like, wait till season 4, you guys will be sick of each other. And it's season 5, and honestly, like, we still hang out.
Yeah.
We still have a text chain going on. It's kind of crazy.
We're taking a big trip together.
Yeah. We're going to New Orleans.
Well, I want some work trips. There needs to be like a Cloud9 convention or something.
We have been pitching that, we should go to Paris or Australia or something.
Yeah, the Cloud9 staff has to go to Rome,
Yes.
Paris,
Has
Monte
to.
Carlo.
Yes.
And then
A cruise
Ibiza.
around the world.
Because for training,
Yes. That's
For training purposes, I want to see it, but definitely check out season 5 as it comes
thank
out.
you
You guys,
so much for
congratulations on
stopping.
everything. It's so good to see you, my love.
Fun
I will see you inside.
Yes. See you inside.
Yes. You guys definitely check out Superstore September 26th. It made this one cry if you haven't watched the season 4 finale.
And they said they cried at the table read when they read the finale. And so I wonder what it's like for them to come back to set after.
I know.
We
We're thinking
have
of coming back. Calvin. Hi, Patrick with Entertainment Weekly and Melody Chiu with
We've talked to probably everyone on your show.
Yeah, I see them all. I came late. What'd you think? They're awesome, right?
They're awesome. So much fun.
Yeah.
Well, I was saying the extended trailer, which I keep touting to everyone they need to go watch. I'm gonna play favorites here.
Good.
Out of all the new comedies, I think it was my favorite, at least trailer.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
I thought you were going to play favorites within the cast already.
Oh, well, we could do that too.
It's right here, obviously. It's the person in front of me.
Thank you. We put in a lot of work on the show, but we've had a lot of fun making it, and the pilot was a blast. We're on like episode 6 now, and I think 5 of them are stand-up comics. I'm pointing to the rest of my cast down there.
We had all of them all at once. You can imagine that was like wrangling children. It was fantastic.
It's like that every day at work. Everybody one-ups each other with the jokes. It's been a lot of fun.
And so if you weren't watching earlier, how about you give us a little bit of a synopsis of what this show is?
Yeah, so I play a guy named Garrett Modi. He's a disgraced New York City councilman, sort of a terrible politician who loses his job when he gets caught trying to bribe cops drunk on the West Side Highway in New York, and ends up befriending this group of immigrants who are trying to become American citizens. That's sort of the backdrop to these people all becoming friends. And as you might imagine, in a show of this nature, they teach me more about life than I teach them, and hijinks ensues. I mean, I've described it that way, but really episode 2 is about us all thinking that Samba Shoot's character is a hitman. So like, despite everything I just said, at the end of the day, we get very quickly into like a Friends or Seinfeld-esque scenario, which has been a lot of fun.
We were saying how cool it is, the diversity, not just, the different colors that we're seeing, but also there are immigrants on the show who worked on the writing and also starring. How important was that to you?
Yeah, so
show that.
when Matt Murray and I created the show, it was actually an idea that I had for about 5 years. My manager, Dan Spilo, said, hey, what's your dream scenario? Like, if you could create a show, what would it be? I'm like, well, I know this is going to sound cheesy, but the two things I love are making people laugh and I love America. And if you could do that in the way that we had, remember Head of the Class?
Yeah.
So we're talking Head of the Class.
We're talking about Head of the Class, which you will remember. These guys are too young.
Yeah, thanks for outing me.
Well, I was talking about me.
Okay.
But I was just saying when the initial idea for this was about 5 years old, when Spilo said to me, what's your dream project? I'd had a show that had just gotten canceled, and I said, I love America, I love making people laugh, and I remember Head of the Class, I remember Seinfeld, obviously a little bit different. It didn't look like my New York, but it was a really funny New York. And thought, let's do that. Let's make a show that's reminiscent of the shows we grew up in the sense that they make you smile at the end of the night. You don't turn off the TV feeling like, well, we just made fun of people. This is like a warm, kind of like you're hanging out with a bunch of your friends. So part of the diversity, since it's a show about a group of immigrants in New York City, one of the most diverse places in America. It's a very patriotic show, and we wanted to reflect that patriotism with some of the writing staff that sort of has those experiences themselves.
And Maria, before we let you go, because I know you've got a fantastic party to get into, to explain to us a little bit about your character.
Griselda is a Dominican immigrant who has in the pilot, I think, something like 7 jobs and counting.
That's what made me laugh out loud.
Yes, right. And she's on point with every single one of them. And she just really believes, why not? Why not her? She will not stop at anything. With all those jobs, she still has enough time to boss everybody around. And extremely lovable. She's a great character to play.
Amazing.
Well, I loved it in the trailer. We can't wait to see more. Definitely tune in on September 26th. Thank you guys so much for being here. Yes, no, of course. Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah. I'm so glad you found that part funny too. It was so hilarious in the show. Oh my goodness, Fran Drescher. We're so lovely to see you.
Thank you. I'm delighted to be here.
We were just talking to your on-screen husband about your marriage. He says it's very happy. It's a happy marriage. Do you agree?
Yes, it's happy, it's sexy, we're madly in love, we're, just very fun-loving people. It's a different kind of a relationship that I think you normally see on a sitcom for us playing the parents and the grandparents. We're kind of the ones that are having all the fun. So much fun we went bankrupt and have to move in with our kids, but oh well for them.
Which actually is very timely for now. Everyone's dealing with financial issues, so it's what's great.
It's either grown kids moving back with the parents or like our situation in the sitcom. But it's great.
Now, obviously, Stephen had Wings, you had The Nanny, you both are veterans and just know this format, comedy, 30-minute comedy so well. What makes this experience, aside from the fact that it's a different story, different cast, what makes this experience different coming to it now in 2019?
Well, first of all, I'm playing a grandma.
Hard to believe.
I went from the nanny to the granny. So, yeah, that's one thing.
But is it still the same getting in front of that camera and doing comedy? Does it feel?
Yeah, the audiences are great. They're always excited to see me. I mean, at this point I come back, I'm kind of a big star. And in that regard, it's different because I'm not building my career. It's built. So people are actually coming to see me, which is very nice. And I have a lot of Cancer Schmancer supporters too, because I founded an organization, and they all flock to see the live show too. So, and NBC is also very supportive of health issues. I've spoke twice at their health conventions on the East Coast, and now we have the Fran Drescher Masterclass Health Summit at the Dorothy Chandler Pavilion here on November 2nd, and they're going to support us with that, and that's going to live stream around the world, and we get the most mind-blowing speakers, and Sharon Osbourne is going to share her story. So, it's a fantastic day, and I'm very happy to be back on the air because when you're current it helps you to speak to the platforms that you're passionate about. And I'm passionate about environmental issues. I'm passionate about any group that's marginalized, LGBTQ or whatever, and of course health issues. So now that I'm back on the air, it's good for me because I have a lot to say on a myriad of other subjects.
And your character suffers a knee injury, I believe, correct?
That's what yes.
That's what they say. She had a quote-unquote knee injury.
Right, that's why, how we started to. But the truth of the matter is, as you learn in the series, we just cannot stop spending money. So, we're charming characters, but we don't really live in a real world. And that's nothing like me, actually. I have a great regard for money. I come from a very humble beginning. My dad worked 2 jobs when I was a small child. And so, it's, for me, I feel always very grateful. I never take money for granted. I've been rich, I've been poor, and I had to be happy in both worlds. And so, but this is just an extremely lighthearted character.
And last question before we let you go. You bring so much laughter and love into people's lives. What's the kindest thing someone's done for you when you think about that?
Oh, wow, that's very interesting. I think, I'm very blessed. I have a lot of very loving people in my life. I think that when I was battling my cancer, the man that I was involved with at the time, Mike Dow, he actually kind of put his own life on a back burner. He literally quit his job and moved in with me and took care of me. And I write about him in the book. He didn't want to be called by his real name, so I call him John in the book, Cancer Schmancer. But, that was really pretty incredible.
Well, you're pretty incredible. Thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy the evening.
Congratulations on the new show.
Yes, congratulations. And make sure to watch Indebted coming to NBC mid-season. Thank you so much. Did you grow up watching The Nanny? I grew up watching it, and it was just so funny. I'm so glad to see her back on TV.
She hasn't changed. She is always so funny. And even that answer, she not only is funny, but she just tugs at your heartstrings too. I mean, she is so warm and lovely, and she's been through so much, and she's so positive.
So positive through all of it. It's fantastic. But yeah, I grew up watching that show. I grew up watching Wings, so I'm definitely going to be tuning into Indebted. But there's so many other shows that are coming out that I'm super excited about. Here we're going to be celebrating shows like Brooklyn Nine-Nine with Terry Crews. Look at this. Hi. Look at that. All 3 of you are here. All 3 of you are here live with PeopleTV.
Oh my God.
How are you doing, sir?
I am doing wonderful.
You've got a big week.
This is huge.
Yeah.
Huge. On top of shooting Brooklyn Nine-Nine, we have the AGT finale. It's a 2-parter. These 10 acts are absolutely incredible. They're the biggest. It's the biggest show. I feel like I'm hosting the Oscars. I ain't gonna lie.
So obviously it's all in the family, NBC. But what is it like balancing the schedule of the two? I mean, are you ever in a situation that you're like, guys, I gotta be live in 10 minutes?
Yeah, it's funny. It's weird, but it's funny because there's a lot of respect with Brooklyn Nine-Nine and AGT. My family, however, they're like, hey, you left the pie out and it didn't. I'm like, I'm on live in 5 minutes, okay? And they're like, no, we got to talk about this. My wife is not having any of this live stuff. She's like, I want to talk to you right now, and I don't care. So that's the thing. It's family, it's Brooklyn, it's AGT. But my God, first of all, I remember when no one was calling. I remember waiting for an opportunity, and I remember I said, if I ever get another chance, if I ever get a shot, I'm gonna give it my all, and this is it. I am living a dream. And wait, not on some little network way back in the cables, dungeons over here. I am on NBC, the #1 network in America, which makes me feel like, oh my God, this is incredible.
You've had such a big year. You and your wife also just renewed your vows, I believe. Tell me about that, and what's the key to making your marriage work? Because you guys have been through so much and persevered.
First of all, we just celebrated our 30th anniversary.
Congratulations.
And I always tell people the big thing is you cannot love someone and control them at the same time. And believe you me, I tried. And you realize that love is about freedom. And I also had to realize that my wife is different. in 30 years, she's a new woman. She's changed several times, and you got to keep up. You have to find out what does she like today? You know what I mean? Because that may change. And that was, to me, I think is always the key, is that we're growing and we're changing all the time. And my wife has respected that, and I'm respecting that from her.
Speaking of growing and changing, coming into season 7, how is Brooklyn Nine-Nine growing and changing? How's your character growing and changing?
Oh my God! First of all, we had a complete role reversal this season. Andre Brower, Officer Holt, is now he's an officer. He's not a captain. He's Officer Holt.
He's on the streets, as he said.
He's on the street, and I am the lieutenant. I'm literally in his office. It's so bizarre to sit in his office. I still don't feel like it's mine. You know what I mean? But this is the great world of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. They love to turn things on its ear. And let me say, it's so wild because we're all changing. And like you said, we're all growing. And you can almost tell where we are by where where you are literally in the seasons by who our relationships are with and where we're working. You know what I mean? So people are growing and moving on. It's so wonderful.
Well, right before we let you go, we're asking everyone tonight, NEW is known for its must list. What's on your must list? What's your TV show or your song or your album or your podcast or your book that you're loving right now? It could be old, it could be new.
Oh my God, that's a big question. That's crazy. Black Mirror. I'm still waiting for the new Black Mirror. I'm a comedy guy, but man, I get dark. It's weird. It makes you funnier. I
need
feel.
A balance.
Yeah, it balances things out. And what can I say? I don't gotta lie. I watch everything I'm in.
As you should. It's stunning.
My wife is like, "You're watching yourself again?" I'm like, "Yes. Look at that." It's like game film. I think I learned that from football.
Yeah.
And I would literally replay, watch things. What am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? I spend a lot of time binging myself, which is kind of nuts.
No, I love it.
I
do too. I binge Terry's all the time.
I'm a first person kind of guy. Terry watches Terry.
Terry on Terry. Thank you so much, sir. Have a blast.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
His energy is so infectious.
I know. I feel
love
like
him
it's
so
like
much.
a tidal wave in the best way coming at you.
Yeah, and also, again, we were just saying this about Fran Drescher, somebody that is not afraid to get serious and talk about serious subjects. Oh my goodness, Will Greenberg, Patrick Gomez. So, quick, I have to say, Will Greenberg and I did a show together, a musical called Bloody Buddy Andrew Jackson. It's fantastic, sir, to get to see you. Oh, no, I did not get the call, but we've got you and a ton of your cast members here from Perfect Harmony. Congratulations, guys. Hi, we are live on PeopleTV. Thank you guys for joining us. So we were talking about your show a little bit earlier, but for you guys, I'd love to get the take from you guys on what is this show? What is the show? How would you describe it to the viewers at home?
Nobody was taking the mic.
Will's not in much of it.
Yeah. by design, right?
Yeah. How would you describe it?
It's a comedy with musical elements. We're like a small town choir, and we're really looking for some guidance, and we find it in this guy.
This broken man.
Yeah.
How does everyone feel about that? Is everyone really happy that he's there?
Well, it's really about finding inspiration in the most unlikely of places. So we find inspiration through our Arthur Cochran, as he finds inspiration in us.
That sounds like a poster.
I mean, that's amazing.
I studied voices.
Really? Is that what the show's about?
read the talking points.
No, I didn't.
Where have you been?
Seriously, that's what the show's about?
There's a piece of advice that you give almost everyone, saying stand up straight, let your voice out, be confident. What's something that's making you guys stand up a little straighter these days? We'll just go down the line.
We have a show coming out in a week and a half. That's making me stand up really straight. My kids are going to be eating for a few days. That's going to be wonderful.
Yes. I know I was standing a little straighter at work today because this guy won an Emmy.
Now you just ruined everything. She's like that.
We're going to get to the Emmy in a second, but what's making you stand taller these days?
Man, I'm just happy that my character doesn't die a brutal death. I'm standing tall because I don't get my face cut off, my head chopped off. I don't get my face blown off. I'm just happy to be alive, man. That's the truth.
So luckily this doesn't turn into Game of Thrones, apparently.
Thank you.
No.
My arthritic shoulders make me stand up straight.
Just do some exercises with that Emmy at home. I think that'll help, though.
I'm working on it.
How about for you, Will?
The person that makes me stand up the tallest in this cast is Spencer. He plays my son in the show. His name is Cash, and he's more of a father figure than I am. So
Yes, he is.
he keeps me on my toes.
Bradley, this is a return to NBC for you. Obviously, fans know you from The West Wing on NBC, as well as many other things, including Handmaid's Tale, which you won this Emmy for this weekend. What was it like, and what's special about NBC that's a place that you wanted to return to?
Well, I'm sure it sounds like a weird thing to say in this corporate entertainment world, but NBC has been like an amazing home to me through a big chunk of my creative life, and I'm really, really grateful for that. And I knew when we were pitching this show, we wanted to do it at NBC because NBC knows how to do really, really good, high-quality comedies.
Very true. Speaking of high-quality comics, you have reason to celebrate. A show you're also involved with is getting some Emmy love. We have a fantastic Schitt's Creek. If you have not caught this man on that show, it is fantastic. So you've got a lot of reasons to stand tall.
I'm very happy today.
Not just today, but all of it. What's it been like? Because that show now is going into season 6, its final season. But what's it been like? Because you've been part of that process from almost the very
I was on since the 2nd episode, and we just shot the final, right before we started shooting this, we shot the final episode, and it got very, very emotional. And I can't tell you what happens, but it was hard because it was 6 years of our lives being on this show. But we get to go to the Emmys on Sunday, and I'm really excited.
And you have a really great party to get into. We're gonna let you go.
We're going to let you guys go, but congratulations. Definitely tune in September 26th for Perfect Harmony, guys. Thank you so much. So good to see you.
Thanks a lot. We did a musical together, Bloody Bloody Andrew Jackson.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, 11 years ago.
Ooh, let's not say how many years. No, let's cut that part out. Cut that part out. So good to see you. Thank you guys so much. Such a pleasure.
Yeah, Patrick sings too, if you couldn't catch what they were talking about.
But no, there was a show, actually, it ended up going to Broadway. We did the LA production before it went to Broadway with much of the Broadway cast here. So fantastic. Check out it's on iTunes. You can check it out.
Look at
Miss
you.
Brenna.
I love this
Hello.
color. You look amazing.
Hello, welcome. We're live on PeopleTV with People in Entertainment Weekly. How are you doing? Patrick?
Hi, Patrick. How are you?
I'm good. And you? How are you?
Good. What's your
Melody.
name? Hi, Melody. Nice to meet you.
I'm digging this whole 70s, 60s, 70s vibe right here.
Thanks. It's the Brady Bunch look.
I love it. I love it. So I'm a huge fan of Good Girls. Like, huge. Huge. It's a show that I actually love to binge. I let it catch up because every episode, if you don't watch it, it's a fantastic dramedy, I would say.
Yes.
Dramedy, hour-long dramedy on NBC.
Dark.
It gets real dark on NBC, of course. But each episode kind of ends with a cliffhanger, so it gives me too much anxiety to watch it one by one. When you guys are reading the scripts, is it kind of like that too? Like you constantly want to know what happens next?
A little bit. We kind of know some things going into the season, but of the three of us, I want to know the least, so I have the most anxiety when reading scripts because I don't know a lot that's coming.
Obviously, the key of the three of you guys did a 3 rounds with in Entertainment Weekly and did an interview with our fantastic Samantha Heigfeld, in which you guys said that you guys bonded even before.
We did a lot of drinking in our 3 rounds.
Definitely check that out in the pages of EW. But you guys mentioned that you guys actually did a lot of drinking before you even started the show. The very first night you guys hung out all together. Tell us a little bit about that. What do you remember about that? Let's say it that way.
I remember at least 2 bottles of wine at dinner, but we had drinks before dinner. We were just meeting for drinks because I was meeting Christina for the first time. And so we had drinks with our executive producers, and then the 3 of us were like, you want to get a meal? So we went and had Italian food and had like at least 2 bottles. Then Christina's like, you want to come over? And then we went to her place, and it's all hazy after that, but it was fun.
You can check it out on EW.com. Someone loses their pants, ends up leaving without pants, so go check out which one of the 3 that was.
It was not me.
How have your friendships with the cast evolved since the beginning?
I feel like we're pretty close. We certainly, our first season, we worked a lot. We were in Atlanta, and we had very long hours, and then we would have these long text sessions after, and I was like, you guys, we gotta go to bed. They're like, wait, one more thing. So I think we became fast friends upon, being out there in Atlanta by ourselves.
I mean, it's true. I mean, obviously, being on set makes it a lot easier. You don't get to go home to your families. You guys become each other's family.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. We do a lot of stuff for each other.
You're a veteran of NBC, obviously, from Parks and Recreation as well. Why is NBC a great home for an actor?
I mean, I don't know. I'm used to it. It's been 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years. So I don't know what it is. I just know that I feel safe there and I feel comfortable there. But I've never been anywhere else.
Which you could be anywhere. We'd follow you for sure. We're asking everyone tonight what's on their must list. Entertainment Weekly is known for the must list in the magazine. What's on your must list? What's something that you're obsessed with right now that could be a TV show, a song, an album, a book, a podcast?
Well, I just binged The Boys on Prime, Amazon Prime.
It's coming
So
back.
Good. And right now, I'm watching. What am I watching right now? I don't know. What did I just binged something. I watch so much TV that I can't remember it.
So you love to watch everything?
Yeah. Well, but I talk about Fleabag all the time. I think everybody knows. It got the nominations. We all know about Fleabag.
You did your job.
Like The Boys, Euphoria. I watched, and then my new go to bed show is The Good Place.
Which is a great.
I watched it. I'm watching it again now to wind down.
I mean, in the NBC family, I think we need to get you on there in some capacity. I think an angel. You look very angelic.
Oh, on The Good Place?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I go on there. That's my old EP. That's Mike Shore. He was the beginning of it all for me, so I adore him.
Yeah, and fantastic. He also has Sunnyside with Cal Penn coming up.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
right.
he's just taking over NBC in the best way possible. But no, we definitely want to check you out on Good Girls, but maybe even The Good Place, maybe even Sunnyside. Let's just get you on all of it.
We're putting it into the universe.
We're putting it into the universe. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Definitely check out Good Girls on NBC. If you haven't caught it, the first 2 seasons, you definitely need to check out. But season 3, we're super excited for. Thank you so much. Thank you. Do you watch The Good Girls?
I haven't, but I will after that. She's awesome.
It's so great. It's basically these 3 suburban moms who end up robbing a grocery store in hopes of getting money that they each need for very important reasons, and it ends up devolving into they stole the money from a drug dealer, and now going into season 3, as you can imagine, the world gets bigger and bigger and bigger. It's insane.
And I know we're coming up on Emmys, but hearing all of these stars talk about TV shows that they love, I want to know what you guys, I know you just did Fall TV Preview for
Yes.
Entertainment Weekly. What should we be excited about?
Well, obviously on the cover is Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon.
Who are they?
Right? Who are they? A nice little Friends reunion for Friends fans out there. It's the 2 of the Green sisters back together, but they're headed to Apple TV. They're kind of the flagship show that's going to launch Apple TV Plus coming November 1st. So that's on the cover, and actually our critic, Kristen Baldwin, picked that as one of the top 8 shows that are coming to TV this fall. There's also a show called Evil on CBS. It stars Mike Coulter, and it's from the creators of the Good Fight and The Good Wife, which is fantastic. It's a little creepy, kind of like got X-Files vibes, but with that Good Fight, Good Wife mentality behind it.
Okay.
The Unicorn stars Walton Goggins, which is a comedy coming to CBS. It's another one that we were super excited about. Good Place. I mean, it's coming into its final season.
Yeah.
We have a fantastic piece in the preview about that show.
I saw that today. I saw some photos. Tell us about that. What did we get to see?
So, I mean, obviously a lot of stuff is kept very close to the vest. They are not going to let us know many spoilers, but there are a lot of out-of-context spoilers. Dan Sneerson is our beat writer that covers that show for us, and he finds the perfect way to kind of pepper in these little secrets or things that once you watch the series, you're like, oh my God, that's what he was talking about. It's full of that, but they promise that the finale is going to totally fulfill anyone's expectations and also subvert their expectations of what the end of the show could possibly be.
And I know you're one of the biggest Kristen Bell fans.
Oh,
Tell
I mean,
me
how could you
about,
not
yeah, I
be?
know, she's great, she's funny, she's hilarious, but she's also such a great actress.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
She can give a nuanced performance like no other. Tell me about her role in this show.
So yeah, one of the reasons I love her on this show is she gets to be that effervescent but also like snarky woman that I love how she plays both of those in a lot of roles. Veronica Mars as well. I think my favorite thing on this show though is how they can't curse in The Good Place, and just how she just with total conviction will be like, oh, that's unforking believable, and I can't do it, but she can, and it's fantastic. But yeah, no, I'm excited for all of those. It really is a crazy time covering television at Entertainment Weekly. We try and be on top of everything, which is impossible these days. So I'm just catching up on stuff. I just started binging Mindhunter, the first season. Season 2 just came out, but I just started binging the first one. Working Moms, I have to give a shout out to that show. It is so funny.
Good.
What's funny is I had 2 completely different people from 2 completely different walks of life come up to me in one weekend and tell me how much they love the show that's been on for 3 seasons, and yet somehow it's all of a sudden taking off.
You don't have to be a mom to watch it. It's just
no. Clearly not a mom here.
Over. Yeah, hilarious.
Yeah.
What else?
You should have told me that sooner. I could have been ahead of the curve, and yet instead I'm behind the curve.
Yeah, and this is us. You should really catch up on this season. They have 9 Emmy nominations. It's just getting better and better.
It's getting better and better. Oh my God. Well, speaking of the Good Place.
Speaking of the Good Place.
How are you, my love?
Good. How are you guys?
Good.
You look great.
Oh,
So
thank
do
you.
you.
Welcome.
We were just talking about your final season, and yeah, bittersweet.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's we wrapped a little while ago, and I can't wait for it to come out. But I am still pretty bummed about it. I was just talking to Kristen about it today. We're in that stage where it's like we're not coming back. We're like, for real, this is done for real.
When do you think that'll really hit? Because I have to feel like it's a little bit like the first summer after senior year right now, where you're like, oh, we'll be back.
Right, and even since we've wrapped, you can still kind of convince yourself, like, we're on a little hiatus, but no, now it's been like weeks. I think there'll be different stages of it, and I think the main one, because we still have to look forward to it being on air. I think when we wrap, when that finale, last little scene done, yeah, that'll be sad. That'll be like a new kind of sad.
How do you plan to celebrate, though? It's such an incredible show. It's lasted, many seasons.
Yeah.
Have you guys discussed how you'll kind of pop that champagne at the end?
We'll definitely watch it together as a cast. Although, man, everybody is busy. That's the thing.
That's kind of nice.
They need to make the time.
Busy
I know,
good.
right? It's like you got to be there. Yeah, we'll watch it together. It'll probably be at like Ted's house or Mike Schur's house, and we've had many little celebrations. Knowing that it was ending for so long was a nice way to sort of
prepare.
Yeah, and we had a lot of nice little dinners and nice little speeches, and we've been ending it for like a nice long time now.
Well, that is something that's really interesting. This wasn't canceled because people weren't watching it. In fact, it wasn't canceled at all.
That's right.
You guys decided, or I don't know if you personally,
Right.
but the team, Mike Schur and the team behind it, chose that season 4 should be the final season. So, what do you think when you hear that? I mean, obviously it's bittersweet, but the fact that they did it on their own volition.
It's like I'm of two minds about it, because I really love when shows do that. I'm always very impressed when a show like has the wherewithal to know, like, okay, you know what, we've told our story, we're at a place where people are still into us, let's take off. I mean, that's brave, Wow, we're heroes. but so hearing that from Mike was, I was on one hand I was very impressed and I had a lot of respect for it, and on the other hand I was like, but more please. But we want more. So
you had a fantastic episode in season 3 in which you got to basically play the characters of almost every other actor on the show. That was wild. It was wild to watch. I can't imagine what that was like to film. Now, would you film all of one character's scenes to kind of stay in that? Like, what was the key?
That was how I thought we were going to do it. It's like I would stay in Jason all day or stay in Tahani all day. But it was such a technical episode, and so much of it was about like where the camera. I mean, it was more technical than anything I'd ever done, because it really was like the camera must stay here, and I must match this and that, and I can't stand there, and I have to look at that. It was like science, not this brain. So I just did whatever they said, and they said I would say like a line is Jason, go get changed. A line is Tahani, go get changed. A line is Eleanor. It was
at the end of that day you were like, who am I?
We had like a little makeshift dressing room, and it was like in a closet basically, and after the first change I realized I needed a mirror in there just to even look and see who I was. So that was the way that I could kind of.
That's deep.
Right? Yeah.
Have fun as an actor, though. Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. It was a total dream come true in every way. But I did went a little nutty.
Now, were there certain lines? Because if you haven't seen this, what's wrong with you? Please go watch it right now. But you are playing every character on the show, basically. Did you have certain lines or words or phrases or body movements that kind of got you into character?
Yes, I know I did. It's now over a year ago, so I'm trying to like remember what it was. But I definitely had the way with accents, people will have like little, if you want to do an Australian accent, you have a little thing that you say and that'll get you in it, whatever it is. I did have little, things that I would sort of, cues that I could hear them saying. I remember with Chidi, this will make no sense, but he yelled something about the philosopher David Hume, and he would go, "Let's talk about David Hume." And the way he said it, I was like, okay, I'm cheating. Okay, I could just hear it in my head. Everybody had their little thing that helped me. Just watching them obsessively for years, and then I got it.
Well, we can't wait to see what's to come.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, we were saying in our fall TV preview at Entertainment Weekly, Dan Snierson, the writer, sprinkled it, yes, as we do in the office, sprinkled in all these kind of spoilers, but with no context.
Yes, I saw.
Yeah. So, what's one no context spoiler you feel like you could share?
Okay. Ready? Glitter.
Glitter. I'm gonna decide that the way you emphasize the word meant something too.
Yeah, you're not wrong, and you're not right.
It's like The Good Place.
Thank you.
Right? There's nothing wrong. There's nothing right. Before we let you go, we're asking everyone tonight what's on their must list. So what's your must TV show or book or podcast or song or album right now?
Great question. I am listening so much to, do you know Maggie Rogers? Yes, I can't stop listening to her.
She's great.
I've been on a real female singer kick where all I want to listen to is Casey Musgraves and Maggie Rogers. I don't know what it is. Cool. That's fun. So I've been listening to a lot of women lately.
Great.
I also like Parks and Rec. I don't know if you guys could hear that, but Colton's favorite is Parks and Rec, and that's also my favorite.
Yeah. Well, all in the family, Mike Shore.
Right.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Such a pleasure.
Good to see you guys.
Can't wait to see
Have
the
fun in there.
final season start.
Yay.
Oh, so soon. Okay, good. I better.
Yes.
Well,
I'll come find you if not.
we've
that show
had
is
so much
great.
fun. I know it is, right? And we've had so much fun talking to everyone on the carpet, but we have to get inside and hopefully
Yeah, we have
catch
to
a few
do.
more.
Melody, where can people find you on the social media?
Oh my gosh, I'm so bad. I'm like who's the one? Finsta?
Yeah, you have
I have a Finsta.
Well, you can find me at Patrick Gomez LA. Obviously, find us at people.com and EW.com. Tons of great television coverage. We're going to head inside to this fantastic party, which you're definitely going to check out photos from, which is going to be on both sites. They've got setups from every single one of the comedies and a few others that we didn't get to talk to, cast that we didn't get to talk to tonight. It's fantastic. Check out the photos. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
Bye.